Welcome to another episode of Marketing Tips for Doctors. I'm your host, Dr. Barbara Hales. Today, we're talking about something that many physicians are quietly asking themselves right now. Can doctors survive this? And when I say this, I mean the exhaustion, the bureaucracy, the endless charting, the emotional depletion, the inbox overload, the pressure to see more patients in less time, and now artificial intelligence entering medicine at lightning speed. Some doctors are excited about AI, some are terrified of it, and many are simply too burnt out to even think about it. But today, I want to talk about AI differently, not as a threat, not as science fiction, but as a tool that may actually help restore some of the humanity medicine has been losing for years. Because let's be honest, most physicians are not burned out because they stopped caring. They're burnt out because they care deeply inside a system that often makes caring harder and harder to sustain. And I think that distinction matters. So today, we're going to talk honestly about physician burnout, what AI is actually doing right now, what concerns me, what gives me hope, and why the future may belong to physicians who combine humanity with technology instead of fearing one or the other. The real problem, when people outside medicine imagine physician burnout, they often assume doctors are exhausted because medicine itself is emotionally difficult. And yes, of course it is. We deliver bad news. We carry enormous responsibility. We witness suffering. But strangely enough, that's usually not the part physicians complain about most. What many doctors are truly exhausted by is everything surrounding medicine, the machinery of medicine, the clicks, the forms, the documentation, the prior authorization, the inbox messages, the constant interruption of human connection by administrative overload. I've heard physicians say, I spend more time talking to my computer than my patients. And honestly, that's heartbreaking because medicine was never supposed to feel like data entry with a stethoscope. I once spoke with a physician who told me something that stayed with me for a very long time. He said, I realized one day that I barely look patients in the eyes anymore, not because he didn't care, not because he was cold, but because he was trying to survive the pace, typing, clicking, documenting, trying not to fall behind, trying not to drown. And he said the moment that really shook him happened when a patient stopped talking in the middle of a visit and finally said, Doctor, are you listening? That hit him hard because he was listening, but the patient couldn't feel it. And honestly, I think that's one of the great tragedies of modern medicine. Not that doctors stopped caring, but that the system slowly began interfering with the visible expression of caring, the eye contact, the stillness, the presence, the humanity. Now, here's where things get interesting, because the same technology many physicians fear may actually help restore some of what we lost. And before anyone panics, no, I do not believe AI is replacing physicians, at least not good physicians, not thoughtful physicians, not emotionally intelligent physicians, not doctors capable of judgment, ethics, intuition, empathy, and trust building. But AI is beginning to replace friction, and that matters. Right now, AI is helping physicians with charting, documentation, note generation, administrative tasks, patient education, marketing, scheduling, and communication. And if that sounds small, you haven't been in medicine lately. This is all administrative work, because reducing just 1 hour of nightly charting can feel life-changing to an exhausted physician. One of the most promising uses of AI in medicine is the AI scribe. Instead of physicians spending hours typing notes and clicking through electronic medical records, AI can now listen during patient visits and generate documentation in real time. That means doctors can maintain eye contact, focus on the patient instead of the screen, and often finish charting before they even leave the office. Miracle of miracles. For many physicians, this could dramatically reduce the exhausting pajama charting that steals evenings, weekends, and personal time. AI isn't replacing the physician's judgment. It's removing the administrative friction that has slowly drained energy and humanity from medical practice. I recently heard about a physician who started using an AI documentation tool during patient visits. At first, she resisted it. She thought, I don't want a robot in the exam room. Fair concern. But after a few weeks, she noticed something surprising. She was finishing notes before leaving the office for the first time in years. No more logging back in at 10 p.m. No more pajama charting. No more sitting in bed exhausted with a laptop balanced on her knees, trying to finish documentation before midnight. And what struck me most was not what she said about productivity. It was what she said about her family. She said, my children stopped asking me why I was always working. That's not a technology story. That's a humanity story. And I think we need to start looking at AI through that lens. Not, can it replace us, but can it help us reclaim our lives? Now, let's talk about something many physicians know they should be doing, but often don't have time for: content creation, patient education, social media, videos, blogs, newsletters. Most doctors are already overwhelmed just trying to survive the workday. The idea of consistently posting online can feel impossible, but AI is beginning to change that too. AI tools can now help physicians generate post ideas, create captions, organize educational content, repurpose long videos into short clips, draft newsletters, and simplify medical information into patient-friendly language. And honestly, this matters more than many doctors realize, because patients today are searching online long before they ever schedule an appointment. And the physicians who communicate clearly online are often the physicians patients trust first. AI is also transforming patient education itself. In the past, creating educational videos often required expensive equipment, editors, designers, lighting, scripts, and hours of production time. Now, AI can help physicians create teaching videos quickly and efficiently. Imagine a cardiologist creating a simple, animated explanation about high blood pressure, or a pediatrician generating a short fever management video for anxious patients, or a gastroenterologist sending a post-procedure recovery video patients can watch at home. These tools allow physicians to educate patients at scale while still maintaining their own voice and expertise. And better education often leads to better compliance, less confusion, less anxiety, and stronger patient trust. Let's look at the patient who finally understood. I heard about a physician who kept running into the same problem over and over again. He would spend 15 or 20 minutes carefully explaining diagnoses, medications, treatment plans, and lifestyle changes to patients. And by the next visit, many still felt confused or overwhelmed, not because they weren't intelligent, but because patients are often anxious during appointments. They forget details. They mishear things. They leave emotionally overloaded. So this physician started experimenting with short AI-assisted educational videos. After each visit, patients would receive a brief 2 or 3 minute video explaining their condition in simple, easy to understand language. Some included animations, some reviewed medications. Others explained symptoms to watch out for or how lifestyle changes could improve outcomes. And something remarkable happened. Patients became more engaged, more compliant, less anxious. Staff phone calls decreased because many common questions had already been answered. But what really struck him was when one elderly patient said, "Doctor, this is the first time I actually understood what's happening in my body." That's powerful, because AI didn't replace the physician in that story. It amplified the physician's ability to educate, reassure, and connect. Another area where AI may significantly improve both efficiency and patient satisfaction is automated patient communication. AI-powered chatbots can already answer many simple, repetitive questions that flood medical offices every day. Office hours, refill policies, insurance participation, directions, pre-visit instruction, portal access, and follow-up information. At the same time, many patient portals now allow patients to schedule their own appointments online without waiting on hold or speaking to front desk staff. That's huge. For myself, I remember waiting a good 20 to 25 minutes before I got someone in the office that could actually give me an appointment. This doesn't replace staff. It frees staff to focus on more complex patient needs and higher level personal interactions. When used correctly, technology can reduce frustration on both sides of healthcare. Let's take a look at the danger zone. Now, with all that said, there are legitimate concerns, and physicians should absolutely be thoughtful and cautious because medicine cannot become emotionally automated. There are things AI cannot replicate: compassion, intuition, emotional nuance, trust, moral judgment, and human presence. Patients do not heal simply because information was delivered correctly. Patients heal through connection, through reassurance, through feeling seen. And my concern is not that AI will replace good physicians. My concern is that systems may try to use AI to strip medicine down to efficiency alone, and medicine without humanity becomes cold, mechanical, transactional, forgettable. We cannot allow that to happen. I truly believe the future belongs to physicians who learn how to combine technology with humanity, not one or the other, both. The smartest doctors moving forward will not be blindly anti-AI, and they will not be blindly dependent on it either. They will be balanced, curious, intentional, human first, technology assisted. And honestly, I think that's where medicine is heading. Not physician versus machine, but physician plus machine, with the physician remaining the center of trust, judgment, empathy, wisdom, and healing. And if this conversation resonates with you, whether you're a physician, healthcare leader, or someone simply trying to understand where medicine is heading, I'd love for you to subscribe, share this episode, and join our growing community here on Marketing Tips for Doctors, because these conversations matter. And the more honestly we talk about burnout, technology, humanity, and the future of healthcare, the better chance we have of building a medical system that works not only for patients, but for the people caring for them. Thank you so much for being here today. This has been another episode of Marketing Tips for Doctors with your host, Dr. Barbara Hales. See you next time. Thanks.